everybody. My name is Maria Angela Ceruti and I am an English language teacher at lower secondary school at the Istituto Comprensivo Casaroli in Castel San Giovanni, Piacenza.
Hello everyone, I'm Matteo Tosca and I'm a primary school teacher in the same institute of my colleague. I teach English at the primary level.
Just to give you a little bit of context, Castel San Giovanni is a small town, about 15,000 people, in the northwest corner of Emilia-Romagna, and our school is composed of 6 different smaller schools for a total number of 1,500 students, spread over 2 different municipalities. We are no special school, we're a big one, but what characterizes us is a very high number of students coming from migrant families. So we have a real issue with inclusion and integration. And then there is also a very high turnover of teachers. But
this is the poster of our activities about the European projects. And now let's go to the virtual one. The title of our poster is Pathway for Life, Bringing Europe to Your Classroom, because this is what we have been trying to do since the very beginning. We don't live in a very disadvantaged area, but we have a very high rate of foreign students, about 40% of the total population, and a big turnover of teachers almost every year.
So, our European adventure started a long time ago in 1997 with a brief participation in a Socrates multilateral project about young people and addiction, involving classes from Spain, Germany, the UK and Italy. And then with the participation in in-service training programs about European educational systems and teachers' portfolios in Finland and in Austria. Such first steps were extremely useful to establish interesting contacts that then brought us to further European activities. These days, this get in contact thing can be done through teachers' platforms, like for example the eTwinning platform within the European School Educational Platform. Even the most insignificant contact, in fact, can prove to be a wonderful resource. Another wonderful way of bringing Europe to the classrooms in our case was that of hosting Comenius language assistants. The enormous benefit which we had was that all the assistants that we hosted over the years were able to spend time in each and every class of our school, from infant to secondary. You can imagine the added value of a young, enthusiastic European in your lessons. We had assistants from Finland and the UK, and the photo that you see here on screen was taken during a reunion which we were able to hold in Helsinki in 2014. So they actually got to meet each other through us, which was really nice. These days the assistant program has changed, but it is still possible to apply to host a young teacher from a foreign European country through the Erasmus in School program, and also through some ministerial programs, even though they are mainly available to upper secondary schools. The next photos show memories of 4 different Comenius and LLP projects and activities that not only brought Europe to our classrooms and our families, but also brought our classrooms to Europe, specifically classrooms of lower secondary students, with whom we had some wonderful mobilities about culture, about sport, about safety, and about music. We would like to highlight a very important key factor to start and implement any project, and at the same time to make sure that they have an impact. It is important to choose cross-curricular themes and get as many teachers as possible involved. Also, participants don't need to be perfect foreign language speakers, as you can get by very well through other means of communication. So there are some very short videos in between these photos, and we're going to show you a little bit of each. We hope you'll enjoy them before we continue. From Finland.
si solita, pium pam pum, mattino, campanare, dormi tu, suona le campane, din don dan, din don dan.
And again in Finland about music.
French dance from Renaissance. It's called Allemand, and we have in triangle movement, and then a whole group of recorded players, and then soloists are Josefina, Chiara, Nora, Nea, and Luca. Hey.
These photos testify to a big challenge that we were crazy enough to implement on the occasion of the project you see highlighted here. They involve primary school students, again on cross-curricular topics like creativity, inclusion, and healthy styles of different types, and students as young as 9-10 years old were able to travel to a foreign country, sometimes even staying with families. So another very important factor contributing to bringing Europe to your classrooms is also that of getting families involved and enthusiastic. Partners in both projects were found on eTwinning, which again was a great resource to explore. The video shows a wonderful moment of students of many different countries singing and dancing together, including school principals and our major and city councillor.
Photos take us back to activities involving our secondary schools. And to be honest, there are now high expectations every year from third year students because they want to be able to take part in mobilities or exchanges or European activities, which is nice. What is one of the big problems is that you certainly need budget, which can come from Erasmus applications, from self funding activities, and also from other sponsorships. We actually availed ourselves of all of these three options. It's a big effort, but it is definitely worthwhile. So, an example that you see here on screen is that of Journeys for Peace, that involves students from Italy, from Germany, from Spain, from Bulgaria, and Norway. And it was a very interesting project about promoting peace on the road, equal and unique. There is a short video embedded in this slide, but we're not going to watch it now because it's going to be a bit too long. If you're interested and if you want a copy of our video, just call us, send us an email and we will send you, so you will have the opportunity to have a look at it at your convenience. For example, the topic involved were music again, migration, human rights, everyday heroes, the Holocaust, solidarity, multiculturalism. Again, very important cross-curricular topics. Some important aspects about these last projects were the help from experts and also dissemination activities, as all the products of the project were made available to all the students in the institutions and also to the public, with the involvement of local authorities as well. So again, this is an aspect of making projects, carrying out projects, which is absolutely important and never to forget. Once you do something, share it. That it's going to give it the value it deserves.
These photos take us back to the very difficult times during the COVID outbreak. With the help of our partners and the contacts we had made over the years, we were able to organize a very high number of virtual activities, both at primary and secondary level, which really brought Europe to the classrooms, reaching far more pupils than originally planned. It was a joy to get back to activities in presence, but we have learned that virtual online activities are not that difficult to implement, and in fact, we are using them more and more even when we plan to physically visit our project partners. The topics once again were mostly cross-curricular, like environmental awareness, peace heroes, and their legacy and legality. So, a simple video call with a partner school found in a twinning has no cost and can develop into a long-time partnership. Last but not least, we'd like to point out the importance of offering European experiences to teachers who don't usually have such opportunities. We were able to do so through the dedicated Erasmus projects for staff mobilities, encouraging especially job shadowing at partner schools or structured courses for non-language teachers. Two noteworthy things have been the involvement of infant school teachers and a very successful job shadowing experience about augmentative communication for special needs and foreign students. We are currently engaged in European activities through the Erasmus accreditation system and ready for new adventures.
So, this poster presentation is a way of celebrating our 25 years of trying to bring Europe to our classrooms, which has accounted for more than 300 mobilities over the years and counting, as we hope we will be able to have many more exchanges and mobilities and European activities. But to sum up, and before saying goodbye, here are our suggestions to bring Europe to your classrooms and vice versa. Okay, so they are on screen, you see them, and they are the following. So the first thing to do would be to try to explore the European platforms. The Erasmus Plus Italian website is full of suggestions, and there you can also find the links to the European School Educational Platform and to eTwinning, which is a very good way to get started. Another important thing was that to choose cross-curricular topics and make sure to involve as many subject teachers as possible. This is because it gives real value to what you do, and in this way it is not just a language teacher's field, but it is something that makes many competencies get together. It is important to start simple, maybe with an online activity. For example, you can find a partner in eTwinning and decide to meet up online to exchange New Year's wishes with your classes. And then from there, you can develop more ideas and maybe then something more ambitious will get started. This is what happened with us, and we're still there. And then, of course, it is important to explore funding opportunities because without funds, it's very difficult to, to get to the real thing. And for this, you can get the Erasmus accreditation or the small scale projects programs, which allow for simpler ways of getting funded, or even other sponsorships, like we said before. It can be useful to consider the help from experts in the field you want to investigate. You might be surprised to know that there are many wonderful people around who are willing to intervene to give you a hand at very low cost or even no cost at all if they find your ideas interesting. This is what happened to us, for example, with an expert in environmental studies or with an expert in Jewish studies who helped us, for example, with a big project about Anne Frank or with visiting the concentration camps with a special eye for young people. And it was really interesting and very developmental for everybody. It is also important to make sure that once you do something, it is shared. So, dissemination activities are absolutely vital. They give you the measure of what you have done, they make it visible, and they get people interested and enthusiastic and involved in later ones. And also, for this, it is also nice to try to offer European experiences to teachers, especially teachers who have never considered that. You will be surprised of what they can come up with after they have had an experience like that. So let us say goodbye very, very quickly before we move to the last slide with our data and contact if you need to know more or if you want a copy of this presentation.
If you want to know more or would like a copy of our poster presentation, don't hesitate to contact us at the email addresses in the handout and check out the Erasmus Plus websites. Thanks for watching.